Hi, my name is Steve. This is Fran. We're doing appliances to avoid. This is a little different. We normally do S, A, B, A, B, C. This one's going to be C as in we don't advise you doing it. D as in please don't do it. And F meaning please
whatever you
do, really rethink this. You know, a lot of this has to do with ventilation, which is a problem. But this is a new one in the market. This is a new disturbing product in the market. Did you see this? It's the we're at a trade show. I think it's out now. It's the Whirlpool 12-inch microwave. Now, I'm speaking to the crowd. I mean, let me guess, you probably cook on the front 2 burners, probably left or right, depending if you're lefty or righty or where the power burner is. Those extend about 23 inches. Now, I'm not a big over-the-range microwave fan. I like it when it first came out, for centralizing, and they're pretty inexpensive. I get it, and they're pretty reliable, but they don't vent very well. This one takes that 16-inch you shouldn't do concept to a whole new world. This is 12 inches, so it matches really nice to cabinets, but it just doesn't vent because it's only 12 inches where your power burners now, when I first started, it was like 8 to 10,000. Now, even on regular range, it's 15 to 22,000 BTU burners. So this won't do it. And then we always talk about banning gas ranges because of the harmful toxins that come out, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, particulate matter, formaldehyde. So you're gonna have that, and you've got your new super efficient window, so it stays in your house a lot longer. So I really, really don't like this piece at all.
Yeah, and that's a microwave and hood combo. So I haven't seen a ton of this, but that's like a microwave and hood combo
12
there.
inch.
12 inches. The capacity even on the microwave can't be very, very good there either. So yeah, I would definitely.
The capacity is probably fine. It's 1.1, and everyone uses this stuff to heat up coffee. It'll be fine there, but from a venting standpoint, this is like a do not do. This is, in my mind, because it's new and it's widely researched and designed, I give it an F. But if you want to give them a D, you go F?
Right off the bat. Listen, we're starting heavy and hot here, so let's go. All right, next one. Let's talk about, and these aren't going to be all appliances, but just in general topics to consider here. So let's talk about extended warranties.
Extended warranties for appliances. Okay. 2 thoughts. A, you're going to need an extended warranty, especially now because all these supply chain issues, we've got different parts and things are breaking down more. And that's the truth. But you're going to buy an extended warranty from a store without service, and they're going to sell your information to a third party, a call center with no service. So it begins by you trying to get your extended warranty. You're trying to get work on free from your extended because you paid for it like insurance, and it's going to end by you just giving up and getting it paid. So I would say if you're going to buy an extended warranty, you buy it from, you research the people that fix appliances in your area and buy the extended warranty. Then it's an A, especially on French door refrigerators and Pro. But if you're going to buy it from a store, then it's a D or F.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're buying it from someone that's not doing the service, it's at best a D. And those are really the questions that you have to ask. So if they're trying to sell you a warranty, it's like, okay, so who do I call? Is it through a third party? Who comes to my house when I need a repair? So definitely need to make sure you're asking those questions. But absolutely, if you're buying this from someone that isn't doing the service, a D, and that's being kind for sure.
I would say it depends. If you're buying it from a place that actually services appliances, it's an A.
Definitely.
If you're buying it, especially on the products that aren't working as well.
Yeah.
And when I talk about French door refrigerators, it's not no call. It's the ice maker's going to go. Frozen cubes through a refrigerator. It's not working out. I would give it an A there. I'd give it an F the other way. So D or C.
Sounds good. All right, next, let's talk about extra quiet dishwashers. And really what we mean there is focusing only on the noise level of a dishwasher and only looking for the most quiet one out there.
Yeah, because if you're not, anything, 44 decibels is the standard where you're not going to hear it. And when I say the standard, when you're in your kitchen or when you're trying to watch TV, if your kitchen's open in your living room, 44 is all you need. So if you're going down to 38 to say, I want something super quiet, you're not really going to be able to tell the difference between the two. And you could pay $300 to $500 more. So there's no need to do that.
Yeah.
So, but again, an extra quiet isn't going to kill you. You're just going to spend more money. I'd give this a C.
Yeah, I go C too because there's other reasons I'd say sometimes to step up, and the extra noise is a nice to have there too, but there's other reasons you would go to a higher end dishwasher, whether it's racking, the adjustability in the racking, cycles, things like that. Yeah. And typically you'll get, the noise will come down.
Yeah, but even on the upper kind of like KitchenAids, go to the 604 to the 804. I mean,
agreed.
But it's C.
Sounds good. Next, one of your all-time favorites, black stainless.
Me and the guy who's actually filming this did this video like, I want to say 5-6 years ago, where I just scratched like all those things. It was so easy to scratch them. And then you had to sell all those things in outlet.
Yeah, thanks, by the way.
But my parents got a black stainless steel refrigerator, but it's in their garage. The thing with black stainless is it's easy to scratch and it's cosmetic, so it's not covered in warranty. So forever, you're going to be looking at a breached kind of refrigerator. I always thought that, if it's really that bad, you just peel the whole thing off. You got a stainless steel refrigerator. But but again, the fridge will work. Maybe you won't scratch it. I give this a C or D.
Yeah, and I always joke too because even when you're just comparing different brands of their own stainless steel, for a lot of customers too, those stainless steels look different, and customers can notice that at times too. And it's if you're and we all know this stuff doesn't last forever. So if you're replacing in 5 years one black stainless brand or trying to find another one, they just look so different too. So the scratching and matching from that end is very difficult. So say a C there as well.
C.
All right, next we're going to talk about extra large washers. So in washing machines, again, kind of focusing only on the biggest capacity.
My mother, we had a family of 5 growing up. She had a Maytag top load. Love that machine. Probably still working and need them. It was 2.3 cubic feet. And now what's considered small in a front load is 4.5 cubic feet, right? And when you go from 4.5 to 5, that's where all the promotions are. That's where all the features are. You go to like 5.8, 6.0. Well, the Samsung's the double washer, but the LGs are $19.95 for 1 cubic foot. I think the same thing with that sidekick that they put on the bottom. Definitely. You get a second washer, but it's like $900.
Yeah.
I think if you stay 4.5 to 5.3, you get features, and it's very promotional. Like, those are things like you want to buy during like a Black Friday. By the way, you want to buy during holidays because it's 10 to 35% off. But those upper end big things never go on promotion. Seems, or if it does, it's like $100, $200 on a $19.95. Just paying way too much for it. Even if you can get it in because it's 35 inches deep. So it probably won't fit in your laundry room or your hallways going in, but.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, you're not a lot of value as you step up, and really that extra cubic footage. At the end of the day, you're really not getting a lot. And those machines are also, it's not just the cubic footage; they're bigger space-wise. So they take up a lot more space in your room in general. You may not even have the space for those, so you want to always double check those. So just not a lot of value there for sure.
I'd still give it a C because the wash will work.
Yep. All right, next we're going to go back to over-the-range microwaves, and here we're going to talk about low profile. So you're starting to see brands coming out with those shorter over-the-range microwaves now. What are your thoughts there?
I think first of all, we talked about over-the-range microwaves in the beginning. 16 inches deep over a 23-inch won't work, and it's 350 CFM. If you're wok cooking or any high volume cooking, it's not going to be able to handle it. This one I like even less because it's designed to replace a hood.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the hoods are like those inexpensive Brones or even the better Zephyrs. They're 21, they're a little better. They can be 19, 20 inches deep, but it's replacing a product that could work with a product that won't work. So in my mind, that's probably not a good thing. This is a D for me, at least.
Yeah. So I can definitely, they're definitely better than the first one we talked about, combo, because I think it's not a great solution, but it can be a solution in certain kitchens as well. The CFM on a lot of these tends to be 350 to 400, so again, not great, but a little bit better. It's really the capture area that we talk about. And it's, even on a regular over-the-range microwave, you're not getting a lot of capture area, and you certainly don't here. Definitely can provide some solutions, but I'll go with a D.
They're a lot kinder than me, typically. It's funny, you go to a restaurant, a lot of these burners, like we're in the thermo kitchen, have restaurant burners that you now have. Blue Star's 25,000 BTU. I wonder if you see any over-the-range microwaves in any of your favorite restaurants.
No, I doubt that. So next we're going to talk about dual fuel ranges. And we love dual fuel ranges.
We're going to qualify that.
Exactly.
30-inch size only. Okay?
Yes.
Because when you go to the bigger size, 36, 48, you get the grill, French top, griddle, sous vide, different kind of things that you're not going to get. So let's talk about the 30-inch.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, everyone always says, and we don't want you to be defaulted in a dual fuel, because typically when people will go in, they'll look for their best thing, and they'll say, well, I got the range for you, and they'll show them a dual fuel without understanding that if you roast, you're better off with all gas because it's a moisture heat. And if you want speed, you're better off with induction, because induction is faster, better simmer, easier to clean because it doesn't get hot. A gas burner does get hot. You gotta, you gotta get that burnt on thing off, whether it's electric or gas. I just think that for you need to talk about how you cook and then what you want to do, because I think induction or gas would be a better option than a 30-inch.
Yeah, and that's the key thing. I think, for some people, dual fuel is definitely the way to go, depending on how you cook. And if you're doing more baking where it's more consistent, sometimes you'll get more features in a dual fuel versus an all gas, even in the 30-inch, like the self-cleaning and better controls. I think the key thing is here, just don't assume because it's more expensive that it's going to be better for you, because it's certainly not better for everyone there.
Yeah, I mean, dual fuel, again, when you go to a larger range, or, the electric's better baking, it's more precise, it's a drier heat, gas is moister. So just figure out how you cook and then buy accordingly. But you don't need a dual fuel range, but it's a C, still work.
All right, next we're going to talk about pro style ranges, kind of like the Italian, European style ranges, like you see the Bertozzonis a lot and ones like that.
Smeg, Forno, Fortuzini, and all the rest of them. And I think they're beautiful ranges. The problem that people have is, like, you do Google search and you get all these optimized blog sites that put these ranges out, so people buy it, and they're enamored of the pricing, and they find out they got one power burner or in a 36-inch and 19, and then 110 and 4 burners that are essentially simmer burners. So you're not getting the output. Certainly you're not getting the quality of construction. Certainly you're not getting the broiler. Broiler is only like a 10,000 BTU broiler, not infrared. Whereas on a pro range, they're like 15 to 21,000, average being 20. You get no controls, which is okay because Blue Star doesn't, but you have no choice there.
Service sometimes is tough.
Service is tough for all the brands, but especially so here. As long as you're going in to say, I want a nice looking range that I can flip my home and let it be the next person's problem, it's fine. Or if you cook on one burner, that's fine. Other than that, though, it's not fine, right? So I would give that depending on what you're looking for, a C or D.
Yeah, I go with a D overall, because I think you can find a lot even better value and features if you're looking at that. You don't necessarily always get that look, but if you're looking, even a traditional front control range, you can get much better features, more power, and things like that too. I go with a D here. Next, unknown brands, and really kind of unproven brands. So I think there's a lot of brands that maybe people haven't really heard of before that are really good brands and have done good things out there. But there's a lot of brands that kind of coming out of nowhere too. So let's talk about some of those.
We don't go anywhere or do anything typically at Yale. We went to KBIS, it's the industry show. It was actually pretty good. And I just can't believe how many brands of stuff that are out there. Last time I went was 10 years ago, or at least 10 years ago. And just seeing the brands and their promises, and kind of like our industry has gone to the point, well, a lot of stuff's throwaway now. And it's like, here are the features, but there's no back end to any of them. And it really depends what you're looking for here. I throw this out in our blog article only as a cautionary tale, that if you're gonna see something as we all shop, myself included, on the internet, that this is some of the stuff that you wanna touch and feel, look at, ask questions about before you click to buy. It's not like a book that turned out to be bad or something. This is something you're gonna be living with. So just be careful. I would say probably some might be good, but overall this is a D.
Yeah, I'd almost go F here too on something like this, just because I think some of these unknown brands that come out of nowhere, really the unproven brands that throw something out there like a 36-inch Pro range at a really inexpensive price, you really got to dig deeper and find out where these brands came from, where they're really being made, where's the support. So those are, don't just go chasing a price point on some of those brands.
Yeah,
sure.
One of the brands had a recall on their gas ranges, a recall.
Yeah.
You don't really typically see a recall, a broad recall.
So we'll go low D there.
That's
we'll meet in the middle there. So next, we're going to go back to ventilation. Let's talk about downdrafts.
JNair finally discontinued their iconic but ineffective downdraft, thank God. But downdrafts have got a strange new life in some premium products that are coming over from Europe. Here's the thing, we used to do them, they were used to be sold because people wanted to see the windows and everything like that. But typically, if we believe, going back to the restaurant analogy, that you need capture, you need CFM that go out, and downdrafts can have up to 1,200 CFM, means 1,200 cubes of air go through. And, going up and out, with airflow without bending it because that reduces the static flow, then how the heck can this thing work? I had a debate with one of the chefs that was in here for, and he was from the company. He goes, "Oh, it'll work." I'm like, "No, it won't. There's no way this can work." If you're high density, if you're doing the high volume cooking, there's no way this is going to be forced through a tube, being sent out this way through a long ducting run. It just doesn't work. Whether you put it on the side, whether you put it in the back. The only time that I would consider doing it is if you've got an existing installation and this is all you can do, and you don't want to you don't want to spend 50, 80 grand remodeling your kitchen or whatever it is. But if this is new construction, there's no excuse for this, really.
Yeah, cooktop in an island that you're replacing, something like that, maybe, if, like you said, where you're kind of stuck and you don't have another option there. But
here's the easy out. Put the sink on the island. That's where the sink probably belongs anyway. You don't need a vent sink. You can light your island a lot better. Or you can put a hood over this if you wanted to do it. But the whole hood aesthetic, I just really do not like downdrafts. And if it's a new construction, you can do better, And now you've got these super powerful burners that, just emit all this stuff into the environment. And a new construction, it just stays, and it's just not healthy, So for me, for new construction, this is an F.
Yeah.
For someone replacing, open a window, cook in the back burners if you can, it's a C because you don't have much of a choice. I get that.
Yeah, we'll go with a D. And just in general, I would say absolutely never, ever put a downdraft behind a range or a professional range top. That is an absolute no. No matter what anybody tells you, it will not work. We've seen it, unfortunately. It just never works. So that is an absolute F. We'll go with the D in general here.
D? Yeah, fine.
Next, let's stick with ventilation. We're going to talk about recirculating hoods.
Well, again, a lot of people don't have a choice. And for that, I would say, we wrote an article on what do you do if you couldn't vent. But recirculating vents are interesting because, we're talking about banning gas ranges in multifamily, and it's already done in Boston. But recirculating, we're saying those fumes are the reason. What you do in recirculating on some of these hoods is you're taking it up, you're filtering, the odors and the grease, and then you're basically putting them right on your face. Yeah. It's like you're putting them right in your nose. It blows right back, right at your face. So there's certainly way better ways of doing it. Venting to the outside, you have to vent to the outside. If you can't, if you have to go to the circulating vent, you go with the European types. They're a little bit better. They get the charcoal filters and they go out through the sides instead of being blown right at you. And again, open a window, cook on back burners as much as you can, but you're not going to get much, if anything, out of a recirculating burner other than maybe some grease and odor, easement, if that.
Yeah, definitely, better than nothing, but, definitely not ideal there too. And, you talk about those charcoal filters, I'd be curious to see what percentage of people actually replace those charcoal filters like you really need to do over, every 6, 12 months, depending on how often you're using that. So I'd say that's probably not being done as often as it should either. So it kind of defeats the purpose there as well. Think a D?
D or F? I'd say D.
All right.
Yeah, if Downdrafts get a D, that gets a D.
So lastly here, and we touched upon this a little bit with extended warranties, but just looking at stores with a lack of service.
Let's not look at stores. I mean, we'll look at appliances needing service. Yep. I think one of the things, this is our last video of the year. Nice job this year.
Thanks.
And the one thing I want to leave you with is I'm starting to see reliability stats, and they're not as good as they once were. And, I have empathy for appliance manufacturers. If you're an appliance manufacturer, you count on your suppliers. And a lot of these suppliers dried up and went away in COVID. So they did the best they could, but it's not fleshed out. And what I want to leave you with here is, it's great that you're getting Wolf Thermidor, that you're watching these videos and seeing other people. It's great. But you really need to figure out after you make a purchase or before you make a purchase or being part of the purchase decision, wherever you buy, Boston or wherever it might be, is figure out who's going to fix it, because you are going to need it sooner than later. And don't be upset. Think about it as a car. I mean, we need to maintain our cars, And no one's saying, well, geez, my car, I need oil. It's just one of those things. I do think that it has to be part of the process somewhere. That the difference between a lot of these brands, and I've had a lot of them, I've moved around a lot in my life, is not as much as the service behind those brands. And that's what you got to figure out in your own house, in your own area, as much as the choices and the fun things that we talk about in our other videos.
Yeah, that sums it up perfectly. It's really, we've seen kind of like through COVID and all that, like you said, we're seeing more service needed now more than ever. It's catching up with the supply chain, different parts in these appliances. Unfortunately, I don't think the need for service in appliances is definitely not going anywhere.
Nope. And neither is the service. We're hiring 5 more techs will be on the road, after we train them. So it's definitely a need. Believe it, because we have it, because we need it. Anyway, thank you for a good year, and thanks for watching. If you like the format, click and subscribe. We'll have a few more of these, and Happy New Year.
Thanks.